Houston shouldn't exist. A swampy, flood-prone coastal plain. No natural harbor. 50 miles from the Gulf of Mexico. On paper, it was the wrong place to build a city. But in 1836, two brothers saw opportunity where others saw only obstacles. Using AI to reconstruct historical photographs and lithographs, we're about to watch Houston rise, from a muddy frontier outpost into the oil capital of the world. If you enjoy seeing history come alive, hit subscribe. This is the story of how Houston conquered geography, economics, and even its own success. A frontier pretending to be a city. Main Street tells you everything about Houston just 1 year after the Civil War. Brick facades with elegant arched windows strain to look sophisticated, but the illusion breaks quickly. The street is unpaved. A lone cow wanders freely. This is still a frontier town. Merchants, cotton factors, and traders are back at work, picking up where the war left off. Houston survived the conflict largely untouched. Union forces never pushed this far inland. That luck gives the city a head start, and it's ready to exploit it. Texas cotton must move. Houston sits perfectly between the plantations and the coast. Iron writes the future. From above, Houston spreads across the prairie in a precise grid. But look closer. Those rail lines slicing through the city aren't just transportation, they're destiny. Tracks radiate outward like spokes on a wheel, turning Houston into the ultimate railroad junction. Buffalo Bayou curves along the southern edge, the waterway that gave birth to the city in 1836. But now, railroads are in charge. Cotton warehouses line the tracks. Lumber yards rise sky high. Merchants grow rich moving goods between the Gulf Coast and the Texas interior. This grid wasn't accidental. Houston's founders planned for endless growth, laying blocks that could expand forever across the flat coastal plain. And they're filling fast. Water and steel, together. Together. At White Oak Bayou, steamboats dock beside a towering railroad bridge. This single image captures Houston's transportation revolution. The city isn't choosing between water and rail, it's using both. Ships haul cargo from Galveston and the Gulf. Trains carry it inland. That bridge doesn't just cross water, it connects Houston to all of Texas. Warehouses along the bayou overflow with cotton, lumber, and manufactured goods. Houston's gamble on being the ultimate middleman is paying off. Electric dreams. Electric streetcars glide down Main Street, past 2- and 3-story commercial buildings packed with shops and offices. Overhead wires hum with cutting-edge technology for the 1890s. Pedestrians crowd wooden sidewalks, moving between banks, dry goods stores, and saloons. The buildings may look modest today, but they're built to last, and built for business. Houston's population reaches 27,000, spreading outward block by block, following the streetcar lines into what was once open prairie. Ambition in stone. A grand domed building rises from the street, ornate, elaborate, unapologetic. This is Houston's Gilded Age ambition on display. Automobiles mix with horse-drawn carriages, capturing a city in transition. All money is beginning to flow, funding architecture that wouldn't look out of place in New York or Chicago. Houston isn't asking for recognition. It's demanding it. Where it all began. At Allen's Landing, the birthplace of Houston, industry now dominates the shoreline. A concrete bridge arches over Buffalo Bayou. Warehouses, factories, and smokestacks surround it. Ships navigate inland from Galveston. Trains arrive from deep in Texas. This is the junction the Allen brothers promised in 1836, where water meets rail meets commerce. They were right. Oil changes everything. On January 10, 1901, near Beaumont, the Lucas Gusher erupts. Oil shoots 150 feet into the air, roaring for 9 straight days. Spindletop produces more oil in a single day than the rest of the world combined. Derricks rise like a forest across the Texas landscape. Houston, perfectly positioned between the oil fields and the coast, becomes the industry's command center. Fortunes are made overnight. The Cotton City becomes the oil capital of the world. King Cotton still rules.
Railcars overflow with cotton bales stacked as far as the eye can see. Each bale represents Texas farmland, brutal labor, and the commodity that built Houston. Cotton compresses pump smoke into the sky, shrinking bales for transport. The rail yard never sleeps. Deals are struck. Wealth changes hands. Oil may be coming, but King Cotton still wears the crown. Power on display. Houston's new City Hall doesn't apologize. Romanesque arches, ornate towers, massive stonework. This is a city announcing its arrival. The population reaches 78,000, climbing fast. Oil money layers itself over cotton wealth, and leaders want a government building worthy of a major American city. Houston is done thinking small. A dark reckoning. In a packed courtroom, black soldiers of the 24th Infantry Regiment face court-martial. After months of Jim Crow humiliation and police brutality, over 100 armed soldiers marched into Houston on August 23, 1917. The riot left 15 white civilians and 4 soldiers dead. Now comes punishment. This becomes the largest murder trial in US history to that point. 19 soldiers are executed. Dozens receive life sentences. Houston's explosive growth brought these men to Camp Logan, but segregation and racial violence lit the fuse. The city expands, but the tensions expand with it. A modern metropolis. Main Street rises vertically. Steel and concrete replace brick and wood. Automobiles flood the streets. Department stores, banks, and oil offices dominate downtown. The Houston Ship Channel opens in 1914, giving the city direct access to the Gulf. Refineries line its banks. Houston isn't just moving oil anymore. It's refining it, storing it, profiting from every drop. The frontier is gone. Nature strikes back, then the water returns. Days of relentless rain overwhelm Buffalo Bayou and Braze Bayou. 25 blocks of downtown disappear under floodwater, up to 8 feet deep.
Modern office buildings and department stores sit half submerged. 8 people die, thousands evacuate. Damages reach into the millions. Houston conquered cotton. Houston conquered oil. But it still can't conquer its geography. Engineering against nature. The city sits on a flat coastal plain carved by bias. When rain falls, there is nowhere for the water to go. This disaster forces action.
Within months, leaders create the Harris County Flood Control District, committing to engineer their way out of nature's grip. Bias will be straightened. Detention basins built. Houston will try, once again, to bend the land to its will. Because if there's one thing history has proven, Houston doesn't quit.